Let's create a money and abundance spell jar. So first things first, I'm gonna clear my energy out because I was out in public earlier today and honestly, I just don't wanna bring all of that energy into my jar. Palo Santo takes a little while to get up and going, but it's one of my most favorite scents. So while we have this burning, the smoke is what you need, I'm going to take the jar that I'm using and cleanse it. I would even put the smoke in the jar if that's at all possible. There we go. I'm gonna cleanse the candle we're using later. All of this stuff is really easy stuff that you can get on Amazon. I actually have some of this stuff linked in my storefront. You can get it at the grocery store. You can use birthday candles if you want. It doesn't have to be anything special. The jar that I'm using is actually left over from a wellness shot that I got from the grocery store. So got that. Let's use just some of my herbs because I use them for cooking too. Some of them are a little bit more specific, like this one. I tried to get some cool, cute jars for them, but it doesn't always work. So they end up staying in these two. Moral of the story is you can do this with almost anything that you have on hand. And I promise you, you have some of this at home right now. If you don't have a jar, you can also put it in like a little bag, like the little jewelry bags. There's all kinds of different ways to make these work for you. I am using honey in mine. If you use a bag, don't use honey. You can just use the herbs. Here we go. All right, and then just kind of myself get that cleared out. So I have notes right here, and my jar is not huge, but we're gonna go ahead and just start putting stuff in. My intention is to earn more money through my business, and so I wanna start from a place of love. I have chosen to use strawberry leaf for that. You don't need a lot. It's gonna make a mess everywhere at the end. You don't need a lot, especially depending on the size jar you have and however many contents you have going in there. I'm trying to keep it close by, but okay. So just a little bit. Let me do one more little pinch because good measure. I really am gonna have such a disaster over here, but that's okay. From there, I want to focus a little bit more on the abundance factor of it. So I have a handful of cloves. The number 7 just jumped out at me, so I'm gonna put 7 of these little cloves in there. Okay. Oops, one more. I love the way cloves smell. So I'm gonna put these in here. So 7 is a number known for good luck, prosperity. It is associated with the color green, which is also associated with fertility, money. So I put 7 cloves in there. Oh, the other thing about cloves is it adds energy to your spell. It's good for luck, wealth, protection, and mental strength as well. Next, I'm gonna go with bay leaves. You can pick these up in the grocery store. I actually want to find a small one and put it in the jar, but what I'm gonna do is write my intention on the bay leaf. A lot of people use permanent marker to write on here. Ballpoint pen doesn't work too well on bay leaves, but I have a little paint pen. I'm gonna put that on there right now. All right, doesn't have to be perfect. So this is gonna crumble as I put it in, no big deal. It's really more for my intention. A lot of times you can write intentions on bay leaves and burn them as well, which is really cool. So bay leaf is good for protection, purification. I wanted purification and protection from a place of, I want my business to be coming from a place of pure love and wanting to give to others. Success, wealth, abundance, and manifestation. So like I said, you can put your intentions on a bay leaf and burn it. You can do it like this. You can put a bay leaf under your front doormat. I've heard of a lot of different uses for bay leaf, and so it's one of those really versatile herbs that you can use. The next thing I'm going in with is bayberry bark. This is good as a house blessing, good fortune, wishes, luck, money drawing, so drawing money to you, and any other kind of little abundance spell. So again, we're gonna take just a little bit of this and put it, I wish I had a funnel, put it into the jar. I'm gonna do one more pinch. Okay. The next one I'm using is rosemary. Rosemary removes negative energy as well as creates like a blank slate for any spell work. It's really good for spell amplification, and it can work as a substitute for any other herbs that you have. This is not working. Again, you can use the fresh herbs at the grocery store. You can use something that's been planted in your yard. Rosemary is great. I've actually heard of people burning this after sage to rebalance the energy in a space. So here we go. There we go. Getting it all down there. Next, I have calendula flowers. I'm probably not even saying that right, but that's okay. I felt drawn to these and couldn't understand why until I realized they are often used for fertility, and fertility is the abundance of stuff, the ability to bring things to fruition, to give birth to something. Getting it all down there. It looks really pretty right now. All right, I'm just gonna put one in there because it's kind of big. And then the last herb that I'm using is cinnamon. Cinnamon is used for personal and spiritual power, healing, success, love, luck, prosperity, all the good things. If you had a bigger jar, you could even put a cinnamon stick in it. That's an option. Let me see if I can do this without making a mess. This is not going well at all. Okay, there we go. So cinnamon inserted. It smells really good in here right now. So as a liquid to kind of bind it all together, you can use any honey out of your pantry. It does not matter. But I'm gonna heat up a tiny bit of this and then pour it into the jar. All right, I have my liquid honey. I just melted it a little. Honey is really good for a spell jar because it's sticky, it binds things together, also holds things nearby. It's a sweetener and it's known as liquid gold. So it's very appropriate for a manifestation or abundance spell jar. Let's see if I can do this without making a huge mess with hot honey. Another thing that people do in some abundance jars is write their intention on a piece of paper and put that in. Or if it's a wide mouth jar, you can put change, coins in there, or you can put money in there, or you can just write down what you are trying to manifest. The honey is still very hot, so I'm probably gonna leave this open after I shake it for a minute. All the honey in there. It's a mess in there now, but it's all gonna be so good. Oh, it smells so good. All of those amazing herbs in there. So I'm gonna let this sit and I'm gonna let it cool off for a minute while I clean up. Another thing you can add into spell jars is essential oils. This one I have is called Highest Potential. I also have another one around the house called Abundance, which would be a good one. But I want to tap into my highest potential in order to gain financial abundance. So I'm gonna put in a couple of drops of this as well. All right, now, one of the most fun parts, and now we're gonna melt this candle around the edge here. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. This is a green candle. It's the greenest candle that I have in this set. There we go. And you just wanna get right around the seal, the lid. This is probably one of the most tedious parts. I actually just realized I have something that makes this a lot easier. Hold on. Here, what I'm doing is after I seal the jar completely, I am just going back in with my Palo Santo and kind of making a little bit of a completion blessing, sealing in my intention, sealing in the herbs, and really just kind of making it feel done. You can let the Kindle burn, you can let it put itself out. I'm gonna blow it out. If I need to use it again, I will. Maybe down the road, if I want to touch up the wax on here, I will. Do what feels right for you. That's the ultimate rule. I decided to go with gold. One, because I didn't have any other color wax melt, but also gold is all about abundance, so it made sense to me. Anyways, now I will set this somewhere that I can see it on a regular basis, shake it up occasionally when I feel like I need the extra little boost, and just let it do its thing. There's no real right or wrong way to display it. I have an altar. I may put it on the altar. I might put it somewhere where it's more conspicuous because otherwise I'll forget about it. So anyways, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, comment below and we will conquer this spell jar thing together.